What's going on, Libra? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a wonderful week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really does mean a lot to me, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. Now, the theme of this week's monthly spread is self-growth, Libra, and all the ways that you can embody the best version of yourself. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, feeling lovely. Just good energy all around here. So Libra, kind of switching things up a little bit with as far as the spreads go. I've decided to do just kind of like going until higher self says stop. You know, we're just kind of really feeling out the energies. This is going to be a good old time, Libra. And I got some really good news for you too, because I met a wonderful Sagittarius over the weekend, and she got me an Oracle deck. And so I've been enjoying using those so far, and hopefully you'll enjoy them as well. But more. The decks that I'm using are, this one is the Astro Matrix Tarot deck, and then the Oracle deck that I'll be using is the Anatomy of a Witch deck. And I'll include a link for these decks and other decks that I like using down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested, Libra. But let's get into your reading here, Libra, because right off the bat, it seems like we're in more, or these, okay, more. But it seems like right off the bat, Libra, it's like we're kind of out of whack here. I feel like I feel like our energies have been really kind of low here as of late. You know, I feel like we've been not really wanting to maybe even, I'm getting, it's not even just like in emotional balance, you know what I mean? It's not like where we're just like emotionally off, you know, where we're like kind of like in our head here. I feel like we may be kind of physically off here as well. You know, I'm not feeling really ambitious, maybe low energy, maybe like a little lethargic, something along those lines. And I feel like it's something to do with maybe we've had something where, I don't know, maybe something we had like an argument is like amongst, I mean, maybe, I don't want to say an argument, but I feel like maybe something has happened with someone maybe close with us, you know, maybe like a family member, a good friend. It's just something along those lines that it's got you kind of out of sorts here, Libra. And I will say, like, if, for example, let's say this is something where we've had like an argument with someone. I feel like if this is something that's really kind of bothering you, I mean, if you feel like you're able to reconcile this thing, I say give it a try, Libra, because, you know, just thinking about Libra as a sign, you know, I feel like, you know, you're really the types that are about keeping the peace more. And you're not going to be the ones that, I feel like even when like a fight goes down, you know, I feel like you're not the types that are just like going to jump at something, you know, or to start anything. If anything, you're going to try to mediate as much as you can, and then if worst case, you know, if we got to exchange words or, you know, whatever, you know, then you know, Queen of Swords is coming out. But you know, I feel like if this is something where it, you know, it was just like maybe a misunderstanding, you know, maybe you or maybe this other person might have been just kind of operating from like a hurt place at this time. And if it's really bothering you, Libra, and we want to reconcile this thing more, then I say go ahead and do that. You know, you know, there's no point in leaving things, especially all this, if there's no point in leaving stuff like unsaid, or, you know, being in this place of like, I could have said this, or, you know, I wish I would have said that, or, you know, maybe not even wish the whole thing probably wouldn't have happened in general. So those, you know, I feel like if this is something where, yeah, Libra, because I feel like that what may also be going on, you know, if this is, because you got a lot of people kind of popping up here. You know, I'm getting to where maybe, you know, I don't think that this is any kind of like a love or anything. You know, definitely take this as it resonates. But I feel like, you know, whatever is spawning from this, you know, there's some kind of change that's coming from this. And maybe right now we might be kind of at a crossroads with this thing. You know, we're trying to figure out how to just, I feel like, move forward. I feel like we've kind of been in this place right now where it kind of feels like whatever's going down, Libra, it's like we're in our head here, where we've got, I feel like that you need to move, but it's just like, where and why? And, it's one of those type of things. It's just like, it feels just like there's like a weight on your chest, or that there's just like, it's tough when we're in that kind of energy where, because this gives me where it could be even like, getting into like a depression type of realm, because I mean, especially when you got King of Cups and Queen of Wands in reverse here, I feel like that this is something where if we hadn't had a chance to really kind of sit with these feelings and really kind of understand what's going on here, I think that it would benefit you, Libra, to either, because maybe this is something to where we've been, whatever has happened, maybe we've been kind of cooped up, maybe get out and get some air, if as weather's permitting, even if it's just like a few minutes, something to just kind of shake off that old, that, you know what it's like when you've been kind of sitting in like a feeling for a little while, you've been kind of wallowing in it, and you just kind of feel just kind of sticky, just sort of like, oh, just kind of gross, and just like, I don't like, not even want, like kind of zombie type of feel. I feel like Libra, it's, where, maybe something's, might be we may be kind of hurting right now. At some point, we do need to choose to move forward, that eventually, once the healing process needs to start, and, some of us, especially when we're kind of in this thing, it may be just like well, I hear you, but it's just like, I can't right now. And Libra, I respect that, it's got to be at your own pace. But when you're noticing things are, because you'll know the difference. I feel like it's one thing for us to have to process this stuff in order to heal, and there's another thing in understanding what's going on and still not taking actions to heal. You know what I mean? Like we don't want to we want to try to not stay stuck in this realm here, because Libra, whatever, despite what's going on here, there is wisdom coming from this thing. There's something that we're getting ready to get some new tools from this thing, believe it or not. This is going to, one, just on an easy level, if we're just like, well, what possible lessons compassion, not even just for yourself, but for when someone else is going through this thing, it'll be nice to say, let's say if you happen to be around when someone's going through this thing, it's nice to have someone who can relate, Libra, because I feel like if you're in this thing and we don't have anyone that we can lean on, or that, may not understand this, then, wouldn't it have been nice, if there would have been someone for you, Libra? So I feel like that, even when we're going through this stuff here, and if we're struggling to find the lessons in this thing, let that be an easy one, let that be a starter, a mantra, that this is where the situation may not be ideal. I understand where there is growth happening, even if we don't believe it at the time, just saying it, because Libra, there is growth happening here, like 100%, A Queen of Pentacles is getting ready to arise out of this situation here. And keep in mind too, Libra, this isn't a gender specific reading. You are absolutely Queen of Pentacles, and you're going to get some new skills from this thing. You're going to get more stable. And Libra too, because sometimes when we get in these situations, we may feel like that we might never get, like, we'll never feel the same, how could we possibly heal from this thing? But when you're on the other side of it and you get that relief, it's just like man. And then, because, Libra, there's going to be another thing that comes around, there's going to be another thing that comes around, Libra, but when it does, you'll be more prepared for it. You won't be so caught off guard to where we won't feel like, where we feel like maybe disconnected, or, maybe even, because whatever this thing is, this could be something to where we may be even like questioning like our could possibly be questioning our faith, but like I really feel like more like our spirituality, you know, like feeling like we're like abandoned, you know, like higher self is like trying to set us up to fail or something along those lines. In which I'm going to get some clarification on this Lovers over here, because I feel like that might have something to do with in that realm here. But I feel like that, you know, yeah, let's get a clarifier on that. You know, I feel like that, you know, this is something where, Libra, you're not alone in this thing. You know, this is not something that is, it's not just happening to you. It's not just random. And I know how that sounds, especially when it's something, you know, I may not understand the severity of it, but I do understand going through something where it feels like, you know, if it seems pointless in that moment, or just seems like kind of random, and just like where we're just like confused and we don't understand, and it's just like it almost gets to where it's like resentful, or you know, it's these situations right here that really kind of, one, test our mindfulness, you know, and our ability to stay present as well. Because sometimes when you get kind of caught up in this thing then we can start, you know, forming like really negative spirals here. You know, you start, and you know what it's like, Libra. You get in this thing of where we start really kind of like lying to ourselves, and really kind of building this cage around us, where it's like, you know, I'll never grow, you know, like I can't possibly get out of this thing, you know, like it's in Libra, thoughts are powerful, you know, thoughts become things. And if we, you know, I was just thinking about this yesterday. I had something to where something wasn't going right with like some kind of technology thing, you know, typical Justin problems. And at one point it was just like, it was just getting frustrated, and then just like, you know, next thing you know, you're trying to figure this thing out here, you're low-key panicking, you're cussing, and it's just like it's a whole spiral. But then when you catch it, it's just like a whoa. And then you even feel like, if you even pay attention, the energy in your space is different. It's like this red type of just like thick fog, like, whoa, what have I been manifesting? Let's clear that out. I love myself. I am technologically savvy. Let's clear this space. And you know, that's where I feel like, Libra, too. You know, I say all of that to say I feel like let's clear our mental fog here. Let's clear that space, you know, because if we're telling ourselves more, if we're any more in the Lovers, I feel like, you know, if we keep telling ourselves that, you know, things aren't going to be okay, that it's just, you know, that you're going to constantly feel in this doom and gloom, and, you know, that it's only going to keep you down, Libra. It's one of those things that it's going to take practice. You know, it's going to be where, I think a little bit more here. I think that it's going to, because Libra, believe me, it happens to the best of us. But, you know, my favorite thing to say with that is, it's just the universe reminding us that we're all the best, you know, that the universe will not throw more at you than you can handle, believe it or not, you know, even in this moment. And just keep telling yourself that, you know, you're gonna get over this thing, Libra. Here's one of your cards. You know, this is something, you know, free the restriction, because this is Saturn in Libra. And Saturn's a planet of restrictions. And that's just one of the things that it covers. And it's just like how I've been saying this whole time. If we keep telling ourselves that we're not in balance, Libra, then that's exactly what we're going to be, in balance. But if we take the wisdom from this thing, you know, and really start trying to find, you know, trying to find the nuggets, because it's not just going to pop out at you, Libra. Sometimes we have to dive in and figure out what is Callie dancing about? Why is she so happy that we're going through this transformation? She seems overly optimistic for some death going on here. And, you know, Libra, when we do start doing that deep dive and start asking those questions, they do start to manifest themselves. And then at some point too, you know, it may not be ideal, but sometimes we can see where, on top of this situation that has happened to us, we can see where we can kind of play in kind of perpetuating that energy as well, if we weren't getting the lessons from this thing. And this is not me coming at you, Libra. You're in a judgment-free zone here. That's why I put that little guy here, just as a reminder. This is a space where if you're going to show your energies here, this is not never coming at you. This is saying, to some degree, I've been there. At least I can resonate with this. And I don't have any Libra in my chart, Libra, but anymore. It really is one of those things that, like, I can tell you, other people can tell you, but until we invest in that thing and really understand anymore, until we invest in that energy and really start to, prove yourself wrong, Libra. Prove, if you've been in this place of where we haven't been celebrating for a while, we've been feeling upset and whatnot, try to prove yourself wrong. Try to say, like, what, I am going to get better. I am going to rise above this thing. This situation does not define me. This situation is there to enhance me. This is there to help you get into that embody that Empress energy, Libra, to tap into your ruler anymore. And because here's the thing too, Libra, this is one thing that I like to say, if you've been feeling kind of down in this space and we've been sort of maybe beating ourselves up or, kind of getting caught in the kind of like negative spiral, if that's not feeling good, Libra, let's try trying a different approach. You may surprise yourself. Open yourself up to new things, to welcome in the healing energy that's coming in this stuff, because I feel like sometimes too, there's this tendency to we let these sort of like experiences like define us, you know what I mean? It's like where you'll hear someone tell like a story of their past, and they go to talk about how, these times were so stuffed, they're like reliving it, they're going into every detail, I was such and such and this and that and blah, 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 we're building on so much of the negative thing, and then when we go to talk about the positive, it's just like we talk like a little bit and then that's it. And what my whole thing to say to that is, like, I feel like, Libra, don't let this thing define you, don't let this be your story, It's something where, yes, it happened to you, but I feel like it's less about focusing on what has happened and more so focusing on what you have learned, because it's like we can exchange horror stories till the sun goes down, but it's just like, what is that doing? At some point, it's more so about just like, I feel like we should, like, the narrative should be, or the narrative would benefit from being shifted to, what we've grown from this thing here. Yes, I went through a bad experience, but let me tell you about all the good things that I learned from this. From this thing, I was able to blah, 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 blah. And then it gives people, I don't feel like we focus enough on that aspect more. And Libra, I think that this is something that with time, with healing, and don't feel like too, like that you have to do this thing by yourself. This is something that, if this is really heavy for you, Libra, and this is not medical advice, but if this is something that is really heavy for you, Libra, maybe talk to a professional if that's something that resonates with you. Otherwise, it can be something as simple as even talking with like a family member, a good friend, maybe even a partner, something along those lines, Libra. But let's not be in this place of where we're just like kind of suffering in this stuff here. Let's become that Queen of Pentacles. She's been the centerpiece, and this is Capricorn energy. It's about, I feel like, Capricorn's, their energy is about, powering through, they're setting that foundation. We want to get back to our happiness, our fulfillment, our happy home, happy life. Let's let that be the goal. But now, Libra, let's pull some Oracle cards as well. This has been, maybe some Oracle cards will lift up your day as well, Libra. Because I do, like, this is tough, and I've done it too, where I would, and this is something that I just recently, where I was talking with someone else about this, and, Yeah, we really do. I feel like get so hung up on the story and not really focusing on the healing. We'll talk about it a little bit, but I don't feel like it gets the proper amount of time that it deserves. And really, that's the whole point. When we're talking about experiences, it's not about talking about some kind of like, I don't want to say like a pity party, but it's just like you're feeding that thing again, you're reliving it, and it's just like it's like visualization. When we talk about, and when we're envisioning us in our Queen of Pentacles state, we don't do that by wallowing in Three of Swords or telling that story over and over and over and over and over again, because that's not a foundation for a Queen of Pentacles to build on. It's time to start some new fresh stuff here, Libra. This first card here, you got the new moon in reverse anymore. And with the new moon is a time of planting new seeds. It's about rewriting, writing a new story. You've gone through this last lunar cycle, with this thing that you're going through right now. You've gone through that. You've grown from that. And now, we're finding the lessons from that. So look at this, Libra. We're finding balance again, because your birthday season is around the time of the equinox, when the day equals night, Libra. And now it's time to paint a different story here. Get your energies back in balance. Have we let this thing weigh us down? Or have we gotten the wisdom from this thing and now we're light as a feather? Now we're feeling relaxed again. We're taking that burden off of us here. Anymore? Yeah, Libra, Libra, that just made my, I got chills all over the place. That was nice, Libra. And I feel like that's going to be you, Libra, when we start to heal. And really I think when you realize, when you get on the other side of this thing and we get to that equinox period of time, I think it's going to be a really cool realization, and that you're stronger, a lot stronger than you might give yourself credit for. In that where, this thing, as unfortunate as it might have been, it's helped you grow, Libra. And it has, and I don't expect you to believe it right now, depending on where we're at in this thing, but I will, like, with time, when you do get over this stuff, I'd love to hear kind of hear from you, get a comment down below that everything's all good with you, Libra. Any more here? Okay. Yeah, we're just sitting and shuffling, Libra. This is times where, when I decided to do this thing, I just wanted this to kind of feel more like a conversation, because, Libra, we're talking about some love. We're talking about, and when I say love, loving yourself in this situation here too. Anymore? I feel like that. Let's switch back over here, Libra. I feel like with this thing, remember love. Remember love for yourself. Start there. And feed as much love and as nurturing energy as you can into yourself, Libra, because every time your ruler pops up, the Empress, because Empress is represented by Venus. I'm always, when it pops up for others, I'm just like, yo, you need to, Empress, stop what you're doing, Empress, because it's such healing and nurturing energy. And when you get yourself, and it's a perfect energy for self-growth. And Libra, you and Taurus are in it all the time. You've been blessed by the Empress. And that is, that's so lovely. It really is so lovely. And you can nurture yourself all the time. You know what I mean? You can be in that. I barely have words for it. I would love that. To see what that looks like. You pouring your energy into yourself. Healing, and then taking that out and helping others heal. Promote. Spreading that love. Help everyone else get balanced. Help everyone feel lighter. Because this is a lot. When you're going through this thing, it can be a huge weight. But each moment, Libra, it gets a little bit easier. You know, we feed a little love into it. It gets a little bit easier. Feed some compassion. It gets a lot more easier. And then we get some understanding, and then we're over it. And then we've grown. We're wiser from it, and it's just a beautiful tale. You know, Libra, I think I'm going to leave it there. But despite, because this was kind of heavy, you know, believe like this was, I'm not going to diminish that. This was a very, pretty heavy start here, but something beautiful is going to come out of this, because there's a transformation going on through this thing. You know, like that just shows me right there, you know, that, and I feel like it's one of those things I don't feel like you're actively resisting it. It's just all part of the journey right now. And I feel like that when you get on the other side of this thing, man, love and balance, you know, I'm with it. So if you like that, Libra, give it a thumbs up and share this thing, Libra. If you know someone who may be going through this thing, let's help raise that vibration back up, because this was some heavy energy to deal with. And then subscribe, hit that bell button. You get notified when I release videos each week. I'm getting better about being on social media. I forgot a lot that I'm cooking up, and I'm getting my stuff kind of prioritized here. So stay tuned for that, Libra. And then lastly, if you have any Cancer in your placements, or anything along those lines, maybe you're a partner with a Cancer, check out my other channel, the Sheridan Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday. We discuss lunar shenanigans, and all of that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let's get your surprise cards so I can get you out of here, Libra. All right, so you got the Two of Cups in reverse here. And then from the Oracle deck, we got the Shapeshift. And so, Libra, I know we may be feeling imbalanced right now. We may not be feeling in harmony, that it's a lot that you're working with right now, that you may be kind of processing here. But it's one of those things that you're going to adapt. You're going to, as you come to understand this thing, both, mentally and emotionally, when you start to really, when the head and heart, start, making sense of this situation here, you're going to adapt, you're going to change, you're going to be able to, you're going to come out stronger from this thing. And it's just going to, just right now, that flexibility is going to be needed, Libra. It's going to be something that, yeah, we're going to have to feel it to heal it. But once we've started, taking those steps, trying to get back to normal. I feel like, even something too, people, when we're going through something, it's just like, well, just Libra, I just want you to be happy. Libra, I know that happy can sometimes be a tall order when we're going through this stuff here. Let's just get you normal first. Let's get you just kind of regulated, to where, so that we can just even start envisioning what this new version of happy, is going to look like, because it's not going to be the same, we're going to have to adapt. But Libra, when we learn to adapt and work with these energies, you're going to come out just a, bigger, badder, brighter Libra. So I think I'm going to leave that there, Libra. So stay safe out there, working with these energies. This can be tough. And if we're having trouble raising that vibration, this is me putting your arm around me, and I'm going to help you raise that vibration, Libra, because we're in this thing together. Okay? And I will catch you on the next one later.